want to certainly acknowledge the presence of our district attorney, Mr. Brad Smith.
Okay, so let's talk about this. They are charging dad, who's over here sobbing. And, honestly, I don't feel bad for dad. That sounds awful to say that, but dad, you knew that the FBI had looked at your son on last year. You knew that he was a threat because he had made some remarks, done some things that caused red flags, and yet you bought him a gun. So you knew that he had a gun. Why would you give him anything? Did anybody look to see if he had any mental health issues? Like, what has been done? It's not being a responsible parent to go buy your child a gun when you know he's already been looked at by the FBI. Past whatever, questioning that they had for him, and now this year he's able to unleash the damage that he wanted to do last year. He just didn't have the opportunity last year because there was a red flag against him. Goes to school, does this, but I guess my concern is who is parenting these kids? And I'm confused by that. I honestly feel this way because growing up in my household with my parents, I didn't have any privacy. So if they wanted to go through my backpack, they would. They would do it in front of me. There was no hiding anything. If they wanted to go through my drawers, and see what was going on, did I have any little notes that I was hiding that I got at school? They went through that because guess what? They were responsible for me. When have people stopped being responsible for their children? All of these kids are taken to school. This little boy is 13, 14 years old and had a gun that he was able to walk out of his parents' home with, and nobody knew anything about it. Come on now. I couldn't take a change of clothes. Like, my parents knew exactly what I had. Could I have gotten away with some stuff? Probably slow if I was slick enough, but it would have came out. Like, more or less having a weapon. Like, there was no privacy. And I know most people understand this, that are brown people in a black household, you have no privacy. Because guess what? You don't have no money. You have no money. So I think this is making an example of other parents to kind of say, you know what? You need to be responsible for your kids. I hate that four people had to lose their lives for this lesson to be learned, but parents need to be responsible. These parents were not responsible for his bad activities before. They didn't step in. Looking at the young man, I could kind of tell something's not right with him just on, one visual observation. So, what are the parents doing? And it seems like nothing. And so now we have another tragedy where people have lost their children and people have, lost their husbands, spouses, and they are just trying to go to school. Charge the daddy. He doesn't need to be crying sitting here. He know what he created. He knows the little boy that he bought a gun for. So I feel no empathy for him. I feel empathy for the people that lost their lives.